What's going on, guys? JP back at you once again, bring you guys another DVD slash Blu-ray slash 4K update. As per usual, it's been a little while since I've done one of these, and I figured, I got quite a bit of stuff here that I need to show off, and I actually ordered a bunch more stuff, a handful of Scream Factories. I took part in the Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday sale, so all that stuff is coming in. Figured I better do an update before that stuff comes in, because then it's just going to be extra massive. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump in. We got a fair amount of DVDs this time. So first up here, a while back, me and the guys on 22 Shots did a Hannibal franchise review, which was actually quite a pain. I really didn't enjoy that too much, but I was prepping for that show, or about to prep for that show, and I seen this at Walmart, and I didn't even realize this, but it's Hannibal Rising. It was only $5, and it is the full screen edition. I didn't even know they still sold for full screen editions, and even this DVD case feels really old. It feels hefty, like how they used to feel. So that's actually kind of surprising that this was at Walmart, but it's probably a really old version, just that it's been in stock forever or something. So Hannibal Rising full screen. Then we have a couple of Tartan Asian Extreme films that I picked, or Tartan Asia Extreme. We have the Heirloom. Never seen it, but I was picking up a handful of these that I didn't have from a Kino sale or something like that. They carry these, so I grabbed this one, the Heirloom. Also, we grabbed H6, which I actually did watch. I'm so used to putting things in my left hand, but it fits in the frame better on the right. H6, this I believe is a Spanish film. It says the Spanish answer to Saw. Of course, this isn't a Tartan Asia Extreme, but it is a Tartan Video. This one is actually a pretty solid movie. I really enjoyed it. It's about basically a serial killer who runs a hotel, and he or I don't know if he even he doesn't run a hotel, he owns one, and he rapes and tortures people. I thought it was pretty good. A little bit of abrupt ending though. And then we have Lady Vengeance, part of the Vengeance trilogy. This was, I believe, the last in the series, I want to say. And of course, this is from Park Chan-wook. Of course, the Vengeance trilogy is Symphony for Mr. Vengeance, Old Boy, and Lady Vengeance. This was actually really good. Moods told me that there is an edition out there that has a really cool color. It goes from black and white to color or something like that. And I don't think this version has that, but that would be really cool to see. Very good movie. A really good revenge thriller. It says the best revenge thriller since Kill Bill from BloodyDisgusting.com. I don't know if I would necessarily agree with that. Well, I guess this came out only a couple years after Kill Bill, so probably. But yeah, really good movie. First time watch for me. And then I have these here, which are these in volumes? Yeah, so these are in volumes. I got them all backwards. These are some box sets from the Tartan Asia Extreme line. This one has R Point, Face, and the Red Shoes. I did watch the Red Shoes. It really should be called the Pink Shoes, because the shoes are not red at all. But for some reason it's called Pink, the Red Shoes. I didn't watch the other two. So this is the South Korean collection. And this one is the second volume here, which is the Japanese films. And we have a Snake of June, Prey, and Vital. I didn't watch any of these. This one's still sealed here. And then we have the Asia Extreme Collection Thailand horror films. We got The Ghost of Mae Nak. We have The Victim, and we have P. So those are the three Thailand films, which I'm not too familiar with Thai cinema, so it's kind of cool to have that. Then I picked up some other '05 films that I was working on for the top 10 show. We got The Cave here. This movie's like okay. It's got that problem that 2005 has with like the blurry and quick edits and stuff like that. I watched 78 movies from 2005 and I'm like so burnt out on that style. But it was okay. And then we have Flight Plan, which is another 2005 movie, thriller starring Jodie Foster. I actually didn't get around to watching this one. I was kind of done with watching thrillers by that point and just didn't feel like, watching 79 films. So this is, is this not one of the worst covers ever, though? Come on, it's just Jodie Foster's face. It's ridiculous. Then we have The Pumpkin Carver. I feel like I watched this once on Netflix like years and years and years ago. From 2006. Probably like a pretty garbage, no-budget slasher. If you have ever seen it, let me know. Then we got another full screen. I picked this up used for $1, I think. And that is Hide and Seek. This is Robert De Niro, Dakota Fanning. Includes 4 alternate endings. That was a big thing in the mid-2000s there. This was another 2005 film. Bunch of endings. This was actually a really solid thriller. I really, really enjoyed it, seeing Robert De Niro in a thriller. I've seen him in other thrillers, but this one was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. One of the cooler like mainstream horror films that got a wide release in 2005, because there were a lot of bad ones. And then we have another Tartan Asia Extreme, that is The Ghost. I didn't actually pick this one up part of that Kino thing. I found this at a local store that was going out of business, unfortunately, and it was $1, so grab that. And then this one also I got at a used store, and that is The Eye 2, which I think the Eye 3 is 2005. This one's another year. But yeah, I like the original Eye. I've never watched any of the sequels there or the American version, but the first Eye is really good. And then we have Bloody Disgusting Selects Crawl. This was at a family video that was going out of business. I think it was, they were discounted. I can't remember what they cost. But yeah, this was it's a little sun-faded. This was a, semi-popular line from back in the probably mid to late 2000s, maybe early 2010s. That there's a couple good films along the Bloody Disgusting Selects line. This one was not a good film at all, and that is The Cavern. This is another 2005 film, one of, I think, 3 cave films that I watched from 2005, and this is probably the worst. Winner Shriekfest fan favorite of 2005. Wow. This won an award at Shriekfest. But yeah, could barely see anything. There is some accidental cannibalism in this movie, which is pretty funny. But that's pretty much it. It was really a pain to get through. And then we have The Feed. Don't know anything about it. This is another one of those family video pickups, so grab this. Looks like a found footage type thing. Another one here from this is actually one of the 8 films to die for, but I'm not sure, this doesn't really look like, it doesn't have a volume on there, which is weird, and that is Captivity. I don't remember this one being part of any of them, because I think this is like one of the first banners, like for one of the first years. It's definitely not the 3rd year. It could be the 4th year, but I think I own a box set. Yeah, I own a box set of the 4th year, and this one's not in there. It's definitely not the 3rd, because the 3rd is yellow, and the 1st year is, I think it's this one, but this film is not part of the 1st year. So I don't know if this is just like a family video exclusive or something like that. I have no idea. If anybody knows, let me know. And then we have the Leprechaun's Game here, which I saw this cover at Walmart and I was like, I just gotta buy it. I have to buy it because just look at it. And I'm a sucker for like Leprechaun stuff, which there's not much, but I think I've seen like all the Leprechaun horror movies, obviously the main franchise, and then Red Clover, and then was there another one? I can't remember, but Leprechaun's Game. It's not really that good, but it actually wasn't that bad either, surprisingly. So, yeah, look at that thing. Look at that ugly mug on there. It's still available at Walmart. I just seen it the other day. And then we have Buried Alive. So I accidentally ordered this instead of the DVD. No wonder, or instead of the Blu-ray. No wonder it was so cheap. This was put out by Kino. Why do they even release DVDs anymore? Like, do they really sell? Or is it just like dumb-ass people like me who accidentally buy it instead of the Blu-ray? Directed by Frank Darabont. I did see this when I was a kid. I'll probably, like, give this off in a contest or something, because I'm going to order the Blu-ray eventually. I'm just so done with DVD, unless it's, like, weird stuff, like, at pawn shops or secondhand stores that isn't available on Blu-ray, I'll grab. But I'm kind of over DVD for, like, newer stuff, like newer releases. It's just Blu-ray or nothing for me. Like, Kino put out Storm of the Century, but not on Blu-ray and only DVD. Like, I won't even buy that, and I love that film. And the version I have sucks, but until it gets a Blu-ray, I'm just kind of done with DVD, I think. But yeah, not like done completely. Like, I'll still pick up DVD, especially if it's only available on DVD, or if it's really cheap, or like a film like this that's only available on DVD. And that's Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning, which completes my Ginger Snaps trilogy. I didn't actually own this one. I owned the other two. Recently watched the first and second one again, and I think the second one is a really solid sequel. I haven't seen this probably since it came out. It's like sort of one of those weird prequels where it's like the same actors, but they're playing like ancestors of themselves or something like that, from my memory. I'm pretty sure it was like pretty decent, like little period piece, but definitely a step down from the first two. But I'd be curious to check it out now after so much time has passed. Or this one that's only on DVD, and that is Red Clover. I told you I like the Leprechaun movies. This actually held up. Like, I actually enjoyed this quite a bit. It was like a sci-fi original film. It also came out under Leprechaun's Revenge, which when this came out, I thought it was a sequel to, like a new sequel to the Leprechaun series, but it wasn't, so I was kind of mad when I watched it. But it's actually a pretty fun creature feature. It's almost, I would say it's like probably better than Leprechaun Origins, which is like a similar thing, you know, like more of a creature than like a wisecracking little dude who's like pissed off. It's like more of a monster. So yeah, that's Red Clover. I like that cover. It's pretty cool. That was actually part of it was an After Dark original. And then we have this one. Actually, Danny, DJ Boy, sent me this for free, which was super generous of him. I don't know if he still has a YouTube channel or not. I don't think he's very active on it if he does, but he's an old friend of mine from like when I first started YouTube. And that is Landmine Goes Click, which is this made my number one of 2015, whatever year it came out or whatever year we counted it for. It actually blew me away. Don't judge it by this god awful cover here, because this cover is horrible, like horrible. It looks like a war film or something. I don't know. But this movie is like super intense and just like very thrilling. Just very messed up. I felt like I got punched in the stomach after I watched it. Never hear anybody talk about it, but I absolutely love it. It's a super gem. And then we have these next couple were Big Lots. We have Poker Night, which is a macabre by Exhilarator. There was a handful. This was like a kind of short-lived line. There's a couple of good movies on it, and mostly a lot of bad movies too. I don't know anything about this. I do know that I'm pretty sure Scream Factory actually released this in Canada in like a multi-pack that was available at Walmart. I'm pretty sure that happened. I could be wrong though. Way back in the day, like when they first started. Another one here from Macabre, and that is The Human Race, $3 at Big Lots. I like these little weird lines that came out in the like 2010s. Another one from Big Lots, we have The Hole. Was this Joe Dante's film? Yeah, it was. Joe Dante's film. I actually never seen this. Very curious about it. Looks kind of cool. Looks up my alley. I like Joe Dante. Also, Big Lots. They actually had some Tartan Asia Extreme films, and this one is Triad Election. Not sure about this one. This one seems like sort of like maybe like a Yakuza thing, or like some sort of organized crime type of. It says The Godfather with a Hong Kong flavor, so I guess it wouldn't be Yakuza, but you know, some organized crime stuff. Not sure when I'll ever get to that, but it was 188, so I couldn't pass it up. Then we have another one here from the Tartan Asia Extreme line, which is also from Big Lots, and that is Silk. I was very happy to see all these at Big Lots. I came late. I heard about it, and I heard that these were showing up at Big Lots, and by the time I went to my local one, they only had a couple left. But I had seen other titles there, and yeah, this one, it kind of looks like Cube a little bit, but I'm not sure what it's about. Then we have, oh god, Anne. I don't know if this is like an Annabelle ripoff or something, but yeah, Anne. I don't even know. I might have got that at Dollar Tree. And then we have the Possession Experiment, which is also, I believe, a Dollar Tree pickup. You always know that these are probably bad whenever you see the backs of the cover and the front of the cover, and then the company that released it you never heard of. This one was also Dollar Tree, but I kind of was a little suckered in by the slipcover here, and that is I Am Zozo, which looks like there's like a Ouija board type thing. I don't know. Another dollar pickup. And then I got this here from Walmart, and that is the Jetsons. I think I might have a loose disc in there. Oh, yeah. The Jetsons, the complete series. I grew up with this show. Obviously it came out way before my time. I think it was the 70s maybe? 60s, 70s. I don't remember when it came out, but yeah, it's a great show. It ran during my youth, and I would always watch the Flintstones and the Jetsons back to back, probably at like 10 p.m. at night, I think it used to air. And yeah, I've probably seen every episode, but I haven't watched the show in like well over a decade probably, and I've always loved it, so I figured I would give it a buy. And I think it was only like $20 or something, $25. I thought that was a really good deal. 75 episodes on 8 discs. Not sure how many seasons it ran, but all of them. You know, all the episodes, complete series. Love the Jetsons. Jetsons are awesome. And I think last up for the DVDs here, we have King of the Hill Season 1 through 4. Picked this up at Walmart as well. It says only available at Walmart. I think it just means like this 4-season pack. This was $20. I thought that was a very good deal. $5 a season. One of my favorite shows of all time. Mike Judge's successor to Beavis and Butthead. And yeah, it's a great show. I loved the entire run of it. I've probably seen every episode multiple times. This was another show, I think I was in high school, used to run on Adult Swim, and I would watch it like every night before I went to bed. And yeah, King of the Hill is great stuff. I think a lot of people don't give this show credit. I mean, there are a lot of people that do, but the people that don't care for it or just never gave it a chance, I don't think they realize like how genius some of the writing is in the show. Like, very, very good. Awesome show. First season, not my favorite, but I think the show got better as it went on for sure. But yeah, 4 seasons. I don't know. I think there's like 8 or 12 or something like that. I would like Walmart to put out like, you know, season 5 through 10 or 8 or whatever next. That would be cool. So that's it for the DVDs. Let's go into the Blu-rays here. These are all in just random order. Another AGFA pickup. This is AGFA and something weird. We have Satanis, The Devil's Mass, and then it also comes with a bonus film, the Satan's Children from 1975, which is Satan's Children, and 1970 for Satanis. This one I think just went out of print. I only watched Satanis. It was something. It's like a documentary on the Church of Satan. and I don't know, they just came off as like little babies to me. Kind of weird. But yeah, like one of the guys like basically wanted a bigger penis. That was his whole point of praying for Satan, and one wanted like more chicks or something. So I don't know. I mean, some of the stuff was interesting, but it's an old documentary. It's really not that interesting. And then we have Scream and Scream Again from 1970. This is Kino Lorber there. And yeah, our next top 10 is 1970. So I was trying to grab some 70 films because I don't really own that many. This was one from Kino that I bit the bullet on. Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, and Peter Cushing in this one, but it's really not that good. This cover is way cooler than the movie. It's almost sort of like an anthology. It was done by Amicus, but it's not like a traditional anthology. It just sort of has like multiple stories going on in like a connecting weaved story that all sort of tie in together, but kind of a little bit, not in like some cool dramatic way or anything. There's two versions of the film on here, the US and the UK. I think I watched the UK version just because that would be the original version. And then it does have an audio commentary with film historian Tim Lucas. Kino's good for those film historian commentaries, which I love because these people are way smarter than me and kind of give insight to the history of the film and stuff like that. I don't know if I'll ever watch this commentary because I really wasn't crazy about the movie, but cool to pick up. Then we have Sleepless. I didn't get the cool edition that I believe this is Code Red or Scorpion put out. Yeah, Scorpion. There's like a cooler version to this, but I just wanted it on Blu-ray. I hope this is actually the uncut version. I'm sure it is. But yeah, there's again, film historian Troy Hallworth, who's kind of big in the Italian scene. And yeah, it's another one of those Argento films that I think is like a little underrated. It's a lot of people consider it his last like good film. I think he made a couple other good films, but it's probably like the highest quality latest in his career. Then we got Scream Factory here, Saturday the 14th. Never seen it. It looks like a little spoof or something like that. Could be fun. Oh wow, that's ridiculous on the back there. Then we have Death Has Blue Eyes, a film by Nico Mastorakis. I own a couple of his films. He's fun. Never seen that one though. That's from Arrow. Then we have Feast on Blu-ray. I just watched this for 2005, and then I found this Blu-ray like a couple days later after I watched it on DVD at Dollar General. Part of that Dimension Extreme line that I love. Not a lot of those films got Blu-rays, but I was happy to upgrade this one for only $3 because this is a really fun movie. Definitely one to pop in every couple of years. It's really fun, silly, goofy, well written, just a cool movie. Got a great cast in there too. Directed by Clu Gulager's son, John Gulager. And then we have Morgue. This one is from Well Go USA. Looks pretty fun. Love movies set in morgues. Just really do. Always have. Pretty cool setting for a horror film. And then we have... this was a pickup I was very happy to get. I'm not sure if this is going out of print or not, but I was worried that it might. And that is a double feature of Naked Vengeance and Vendetta. I've actually seen both of these movies. Vendetta, I don't remember that much, but I thought it was pretty good when we were doing 1985 show. I watched that, but or 1986 show, and then 1985 show I watched Naked Vengeance, which is like one of the most ridiculous rape revenge films I've ever seen. It's the whole town is nothing but douchebag. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, it's an awesome exploitation rape revenge film. I love Naked Vengeance. Then I grabbed The Wasp Woman. I love picking up these older, 1959 monster movies. I hadn't seen a lot of these, and I've always had a fascination with the ones that I did see when I was growing up. Like, I've seen so many that I don't even know what they were. I just remember watching them, like, as a really young kid on TV. So, this stuff is going to be fun to revisit. And then Vinegar Syndrome here, a box set. We have Forgotten Gialli Volume 3, has Autopsy, Murder Mansion, and Crazy Desires of a Murderer. Gotta love these Vinegar Syndrome box sets, which I have it on backwards, the lid there. But yeah, you gotta love these things. So well done, super nice, just great box sets all around. And then we have the Gamera. Well, I don't know which one goes first, but I'll just show them both, I guess. We have the Gamera, the Showa era, and the Heisei, I don't know how to say that, the Heisei era, Heisei, like the drink. Yeah, I mean, I just fell in love with the look of these box sets. I mean, I was just like, this is the coolest thing ever. You put them together and they make Gamera. And I've never even seen, I think I might have seen one Gamera film, but I'm not a huge kaiju fan, but dude, how could you pass that? I mean, these were expensive, but I just seriously saw these in an update of someone's, and I was like, dude, I gotta have these just because it's such a cool display piece. And they did put out the like big box version too. I didn't like that version. This version is way cooler. But yeah, you have basically the two eras of Gamera. One has like 4 films. One has more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 films on the other box set. But yeah, 2 super cool box sets from Arrow Video. I had to grab them. Then we have a 7 release, Cruel Jaws. I've wanted to see this forever, aka Jaws 5. I think this is Jaws 5. Could be wrong. But yeah, it's you know, Shark Week's coming up. Shark Week's coming up, so I had to stock up on shark films. And then we have another one of those AGFA releases, American Genre Film Archive. We have Who Killed Captain Alex and Bad Black, which is the Wako Hollywood Super Action Volume 1. I don't think there's a Volume 2 yet, but yeah, had to grab these. I do want to get the entire line, but I'm just like so far behind on it, so I'm working through it. Grabbing them when I could find them for a deal. Like that Satanist one was going out of print, and I found a copy like, you know, for a decent price. The Code Red release here of, is this Code Red? I think it's Code Red. I don't even know. Doesn't even say. Dark Force. It's a Dark Force Entertainment release, which I think is basically Code Red. But yeah, it has Chaos and Don't Look in the Basement. Chaos, I watched for 2005, was unaware of this, but apparently it was started as a Last House on the Left remake, and it pretty much is. It just wasn't marketed as that, I guess. But yeah, it's pretty much a Last House on the Left remake. It's actually pretty good. I really enjoyed it. It's very violent, gory. Actually has like really good gore in it. And obviously makes you feel like shit. So that is Chaos. And Don't Look in the Basement, which I don't think I've ever seen. Vinegar Syndrome here. We have Hitcher in the Dark. I think this was part of their like April package or something like that with Forgotten Gialli Volume 3. Hitcher in the Dark, Umberto Lenzi. Never seen it, but I have... Ooh, that's a cool cover. I like that. I have like a huge stack of Italian films, including all 3 of those Forgotten Gialli box sets and like a bunch of other stuff I got over the past year that will be great for Italian Horror Month. Coming up in November, of course, hashtag Italian Horror Month. One of the funnest times of the year, and I'll have a bunch of Italian stuff to watch, so hopefully I'll get to some of this during that. I've been saving it up. And then we have this movie is, I've seen this before, it's fun. We have The Fear here, which is it's like a killer like mannequin puppet type thing. There actually was a sequel to this too, The Fear 2 Halloween Haunt or something. I'm actually surprised that this wasn't a double feature. They didn't release that one too. But I've seen it before, and I actually liked it. I thought it was a pretty fun movie. But yeah, that is The Fear. Kind of a perfect Vinegar Syndrome release. Saw this at Dollar Tree for $1. It is Tierra. Not sure what it's about at all. I don't think it's horror. I have no idea what it is. But it is a olive release, and I figured $1 for an olive, that's a very fair price for an olive, so I just grabbed it based on the fact that it was an olive. I heard other people say that there were other olive titles there, but I didn't find any. When a Stranger Calls Back. This is a fun little TV movie that I really liked. From, I believe, '93. Yeah, it's like a little thriller horror film from TV, made for TV movie. It's actually, I'm pretty sure it actually is like a sequel. We've reviewed these before on 22 Shots, the trilogy, if you will, the original, the sequel, and then the remake. And I liked all of them to varying degrees. That's a Scream Factory title there. And then we have Valentine. I hate when they shrink wrap these ones with the slip covers because it bends the corners up. That's kind of annoying. But yeah, this is one, I'm definitely saving this for next Valentine's Day, because it's like there's not a lot of horror films set on Valentine's Day, and I think this is one of the better ones. Obviously, the two My Bloody Valentine films are the best, but I think this is like third. Pretty fun little slasher from the early 2000s. And then we have I Bury the Living, another one of those older films from Scream Factory, black and white, 1958, 50s stuff. Pretty cool. Never seen it, but... then we have Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2. This one actually did come with a slipcover. The Part 1 I got did not, which really bummed me out. I don't know if it's in this update or it was in the last one. But yeah. I love this movie. I remember when I first watched it, I gave it like a 2 out of 10 or something. I love it now. It's bad to watch if you just watch the first film, because there's so much footage from the first one in that one. But besides that, like, it's really ridiculous and fun. I can see why it's a cult classic. And then we have Willard, which I already own Ben, so had to get Willard. TV movie from the 70s, really good stuff. Love Willard. I like the remake too, which I don't own. I own the DVD, but not the Blu-ray. Grabbed some Cronenbergs here. We got David Cronenberg's Dead Ringers. This is a really good Cronenberg film, dealing with, I want to say, Siamese twins. I think they're Siamese. If they're not Siamese, they're identical twins. I'm thinking of the Tales from the Crypt episode. I've only seen this once. Really, really solid movie. But yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it. And then we have David Cronenberg's Rabid. Good movie. We just reviewed this one on 22 Shots last year, so just watched it and then picked up the Blu-ray. And then we have Don't Panic here. This is another Vinegar Syndrome. This was not part of a package. It was just like really low priced on Amazon, like $13, which happens every once in a while with Vinegar Syndrome releases. So I definitely grab them when I see them if I don't own them. And then we have Crazy Samurai 400 vs. 1. This movie is pretty bad. The concept I thought was great. 400 samurai versus 1, and the whole movie is just them fighting. But it is just... I thought it was bad. I really did. It was just... The choreography was garbage. It's just like, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The concept, if you can pull it off, it'll be a masterpiece. But if you can't pull it off, it's just silly looking. There were literally probably like maybe 10 minutes of cool scenes in this entire like 2-hour movie. So that was very disappointing. And then we have, this was gifted to me by Austin Schroyer. I really appreciate that because I love this movie. He hates it. Burial Ground. Blu-ray from Severin here. This is like an older Severin release. But of course the great like zombie Italian cannibal type thing here. Very very cool movie. I forget who directed this though. It's slipping my mind. Andre Bianchi. Yeah, we reviewed a couple of his films on an episode of 22 Shots for Italian Horror Month, and this one was really cool. Burial Ground. Really, really atmospheric movie. I saw it in the drive-in actually a couple years ago, which was awesome. Another AGFA here, we got Effects. This was actually a pretty cool movie. Tom Savini, Joe Pilato. It was a Pittsburgh film back in 1980 that I think was lost for a while, or it wasn't released until I think Synapse put it out on DVD, and then this is the Blu-ray. I watched it fairly recently for the first time, and I don't think I appreciated it because I was in like a party setting, but definitely a cool little history. And I also didn't know that it was like lost or like unreleased for a really long time. That made it cooler after the fact, but... Alright, then we have The Untold Story from Unearthed Films as part of the Unearthed Classics. This is a Category 3 film. If you don't know what Category 3 is, it's basically similar to like Video Nasties of the Hong Kong territory. Pretty fun damn movie. I like the sequel as well. And it's a film by Herman Yao. He did a couple of films that I've seen, and I like them. Very happy with this release from Unearthed. Very affordable release. I think it was like $19 or something like that. I would love to see them put out more Cat 3 stuff. I know they have a couple that they plan on releasing, so that's really cool. Titan Terra Tiger Shark from Kino and Scorpion. Yeah, man. I'd seen this before. I think it came out in like 76 or something like that. Oh, wait. Maybe I didn't see that. I think I'm thinking of another one. I think I'm thinking of the one that came out, one of the shark films that came out in 76. But it's a Jaws ripoff. Shark Week's coming up, like I said, boys. So we're going to definitely have some shark films to watch. Graveyard Shift. Love it. This was so expensive for the longest time from Scream Factory. I found it for like $16 and jumped right on it because I love this movie. Wanted it to be on Blu-ray forever. And it finally happened, and it was like $28 and then $25. And it's just too much for me for a non-collector's edition. It has a couple of interviews on here, but like no commentary or anything. I love this movie. It's one of my favorite Stephen King movies. I used to watch it every Halloween. I still do throw it on during October a lot of times, but yeah, it's a classic Stephen King. Awesome, fun, good atmosphere. We reviewed that on 22 Shots recently too. And then we have The Great Alligator. This is one from Sergio Martino. Code Red release. This was actually fairly cheap too, and it's an alligator film, man. I love alligator films, so had to grab it. Love that cover too. Italian Jaws type ripoff. Tourist Trap Uncut. Full Moon finally got off their ass and released Tourist Trap Uncut. Fantastic movie. Love Tourist Trap. Great 70s horror film. Love it. And happy to finally have it uncut on Blu-ray because the last releases were cut. And then I did grab 2 of these. I still need the other like 4. But we have the Universal Horror Collection from Scream Factory, Volume 1. It has The Black Cat, The Raven, The Invisible Ray, and Black Friday. A lot of Karloff, Lugosi, they all have Karloff and Lugosi. I think this set was originally called the Karloff and Lugosi set, but they changed it to Universal Horror Collection. And then a second volume, Volume 2, we have Murders in the Zoo, The Mad Doctor of Market Street, The Strange Case of Dr. X, and The Mad Ghoul. My early horror, like from the 40s, the 30s, is pretty limited other than like the Universal Classic Monsters, so these are good sets to have. And we'll actually be doing an episode on Volume 1 on 22 Shots when we return in the fall, so that's cool. Gotta pick up those other 6. They're expensive, or those other 4. They're expensive though. Constantine, 2005 movie I picked up because of 2005 show. I thought this one starts off really good and it goes downhill, but I like Keanu Reeves in it. Could have been a lot better. Haunter from IFC Midnight, and this one, the cover's a little sun faded as well on this. That's the problem when you buy stuff at Family Video, but heard that one was alright. Wrecked, super sun faded on that one. I think I might have the DVD of this, but yeah, I don't know, looked kind of cool. I think it's based on a true story. I think I know the case. Brain Dead from Scream Factory. Never seen it, but I've seen the other Brain Dead, and it has Bill Paxton in it, which is like a huge plus for me because I love Bill Paxton. And then we have The Naked Cage from Scream Factory. Looks like, women in prison stuff. Always like that. It's always a good time. Then we have The Boogans from Olive, I believe. Yep. I saw this at the drive-in for the first time. I actually liked it. It was really fun. Pretty cool Blu-ray that I've been wanting for a really long time. Finally found it for like a cheap price. It's always like $19.99, but got it for a good price. So finally pulled the trigger on The Boogans. I'm surprised that's not out of print yet. Switchblade Sisters from Arrow. Recently watched and reviewed this on His and Hers Movie Podcast. Jack Hill film, exploitation from the 70s. It's good stuff. Then we have Horror of Frankenstein, 1970 film. Recently watched it. It's pretty cool. I like Ralph Bates as Victor Frankenstein. He's kind of an asshole, and he really plays like a super good douchebag in this movie. I like the first two acts a lot. The third act is a little bit disappointing. It's kind of a remake of the Hammer Frankenstein series. White Noise, another 2005 movie. Started off great. This one stars Michael Keaton. I thought he was great at the beginning, and it kind of loses it, which was a case with a lot of the 2005 movies, especially like the mainstream ones. It's like they really just don't do a good job in the third acts. I did hit up another Kino sale, and I got a couple of titles from there. First up is Baby Blood here. And Baby Blood is a Spanish film, I believe. I've seen it once before. I think it came on Shudder like a while ago, and I watched it. And I'm a big fan of baby horror or pregnancy horror. This is a pretty cool one, and it was made in 1990, so it's a 90s film. And there's not a lot of great movies from the 90s, but I consider this one a little bit of a gem. If you've never seen it, I definitely recommend it. And then we have The Phantom from 10,000 Leagues, 1955, again with the 50s sci-fi horror films. I've actually never seen this film, I don't think, but again, got another commentary by film historian on there, Richard Smith, and yeah, I think that these are some cool Kino titles. They were really cheap. And then we have Parasite 3D. I don't own a 3D TV, unfortunately. I've always wanted one. Kind of missed the boat when they were popular, and now they're like impossible to get. But yeah, I do like watching movies in 3D, but not like all the time. But you know, I actually do like it. I know a lot of people can't stand it. Gives them a headache and stuff. Starring Demi Moore, directed by Charles Band. I've seen it before. It's pretty fun. Got a lot of special features on this one. And then we have Sugar Hill, which is weird because the Kino titles usually have these like standard type of spines on them, but this one actually has like a stylized spine. Sugar Hill looks fun. Zombies, blaxploitation. Never seen it, but it seems like up my alley, so I think it would be pretty fun. Then we have Trilogy of Terror, starring Karen Black, directed by Dan Curtis. Probably one of the all-time greatest TV horror films ever. Also one of the greatest anthologies ever. It is a lot of fun. Absolutely love the Zuni Fetish Doll segment. Of course, commentary from Richard Smith again on this one. Film historian. Such a good film. Good anthology. And this one was actually like super cheap. I think it was like under like $7 before on a certain website, and I kind of missed the boat on it. They sold out, and I was always kicking myself for not grabbing it, but I did end up getting it for around $10 or $11, which is a very good price for this film. So yeah, Trilogy of Terror, awesome title there. And then had to follow it up with Trilogy of Terror 2, which is not as good as the first film, but it's still a really solid anthology. This one's from 1996. I think it just missed my top 10 of 1996. Probably would make it if I took Paradise Lost off, which was kind of a joke because there wasn't that many good horror films, so I put a documentary on there that's just horrific. But yeah, Trilogy of Terror 2, it's interesting because it's an anthology, but it has a sequel segment. So the segment, the Zuni Fetish Doll segment, is a sequel to the first film segment, which is kind of cool. I don't think that's ever happened before or after. So yeah, that's pretty neat. Again, another film historian on there. This time it's Troy Hallworth. Love those commentaries. I really need to start listening to those more. But I love this one. The rats segment always creep me out. Really good stuff. Happy that that finally got a Blu-ray, by the way. The Night Strangler. I already owned the Night Stalker, so I had to pick up the Night Strangler. Also Dan Curtis. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I really like the Night Stalker, so interested to check that one out. Then we have Unearthed Films, a Serbian film. This was a really good price, $20 for this. I've actually never seen it, but very curious. I have to watch it coming up for a 22 Shots episode, so figured I would grab it. I had another edition, but I think this is like the true like uncut edition. I know there's different cuts floating around and stuff like that. Very notorious film. Everybody kind of knows about it. Everybody knows like the history of it and like you know what it's about and stuff like that. But I've actually never seen it. Then we have part of the Disney Movie Club actually forgot to cancel or decline the featured title of the month or whatever. But that's fine. I have to buy 3 or whatever anyway. So the Best of Mickey, Fantasia 2000, and Celebrating Mickey. It is a Disney Movie Club exclusive. Kind of a nice little set here. I've never seen Fantasia or Fantasia 2000. I think they're like kind of like musical type things. Not really sure, but really heavy release there. But yeah, it's yeah, Blu-ray and DVD. That's probably why. I feel like they're probably each on their own disc for as heavy as it is. And then we have a Scream Factory title I just picked up, Kiss of the Vampire, which, man, I'm trying to get these Hammer, like, they put out a bunch of Hammer titles, and I, like, slept on them for so long because they were always so cheap. Finally, they're starting to drop in price a little bit. Trying to grab some of those while I can. I don't want them to go out of print before I get them. Like, the other day I was looking at, I was like, man, I really want to collect each of the, you know, the Mummy, the, Frankenstein and Dracula series. I'm not sure. Did they do a Wolfman, like a big Wolfman series? I'm very, like, low-key, don't really know a lot about Hammer. I mean, I've seen a lot of Hammer films, but I don't really know, like, the history of it and stuff. But, and I was looking and I was like, damn. So, like, they put out the 2 Mummy sequels, but the first Mummy, the 1959 Hammer Mummy, is like out of print on Blu-ray, which made me super mad because I passed that title up a bunch, and it even had that like Hammer like 4 or 6-pack Blu-ray that had like the Mummy and like a couple of Draculas or something like that. I passed that up a bunch of times too. I actually thought I bought it, but I can't find it anywhere, so I think I did pass it up, which bums me out. So now I'm waiting on a re-release of the damn Mummy 1959 because I've always thought that the Mummy concept was really cool, but I've never been like overly impressed with the films. Like the Universal line of Mummy films, I think are pretty like the first one's okay, like the second one's okay. They're not really my favorites, and I feel like the sequels aren't really that good. I've only watched them once though. And I do like the 1999 Brendan Fraser Mummy. I think that's probably the best Mummy that I've seen. But I've always been curious on the Hammer films, like the Mummy concept is like kind of underdone, you know what I mean? Like there's not that many Mummy films out there, but you think of it as like a classic monster, like, you know, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Gilman. But the Mummy, there's not really a lot of them, right? There's not like werewolves, there's a million werewolf films, you know. Vampires, there's a million vampire films. Dracula, I mean, just alone Dracula, there's a million Dracula films, but there's not that many Mummy films, so I would like to see more Mummy films, but good ones, because there are some ones that come out, like, direct to video from, like, Wild Eye or something, you know what I mean, so, but yeah, it did come with a slipcover, which I thought was pretty cool, so I'm slowly going to pick up, like, more of the Hammer films, but yeah, that is Kiss of the Vampire. Then we have, speaking of Hammer, The Curse of Frankenstein, which I believe was the last Frankenstein that needed a Blu-ray release in the States here. 2-discer from Warner Archive, the Archive collection, which you normally don't see. yeah, that's really awesome. Glad to have this. Really cheap. You can't pass up the Warner Archives. They're just so cheap. $11 for this. Because I did place the final Warner Archive sale on Warner Archive WB Shop or whatever it was. The final Warner Archive sale happened a couple months ago, and I guess they're going to be all done through Amazon now. I don't know if they'll still do the 4 for $44 sale, but the titles have been pretty cheap lately. But I did hit up the final sale and grab a couple things that I needed. Village of the Damned. Surprised I actually didn't own this. But yeah, got it here through the archive collection. The Green Slime. Another one I was kind of surprised I didn't own, but yeah, this is a fun little movie. Seen it before. Dead Silence, which I just realized I don't own this in any format, and I actually really like it. Got to complete the James Wan collection. Probably not going to pick up Fast and the Furious, but then I might, because I do own a 6-disc box set of the first 6 films, so maybe one day. But Dead Silence, a very underrated, didn't get a lot of love, wasn't a huge success or anything, but really like Dead Silence. And then this was also part of that archive sale. We got The Hidden here, which I've never seen, but it looks pretty cool. So, directed by Jack Shoulder, which is neat. I'm not sure this is a horror film. It's just more like a thriller or something, but needed a 4th title, so I went with that. Then we have Blood Rage in a ugly blue case from Arrow. That's annoying. But ever since I seen this on Joe Bob's Dinners of Death, I've always wanted to pick it up and just never have. I know that there was a really cool edition when this first came out. It was one of Arrow US's first releases, but I never bit the bullet on it. And why do I keep saying bit the bullet? I never pulled the trigger on it, and just never got it. So glad that there's still a standard edition. Not sure what the huge difference is, but yeah, Blood Rage is a really fun little slasher film. Glad to finally have that. And then we have Munchies and Munchie. Is it Munchie and Munchies? I guess so. I think there's another Munchies film. I think there's 3 total, but yeah, I've wanted Munchies for years. I remember watching it on VHS when I was a kid and just, had to grab this double feature. I think these might be going out of print. And then also from, who's this from? Kino. Monster Dog also got this during that Kino sale. These are all kind of out of order. And then Black Sabbath. I was a little bummed. Also part of the Kino sale. I didn't realize there were 2 versions of this. I think this is the AIP version. And then there's another version. I'm not sure what the better version is. It confused me. Mario Bava. I don't know. I'll probably grab the other one at some point too. And then last for the Kinos here is the Oblong Box starring Vincent Price and Christopher Lee. I've never seen it, but I really always liked this cover. That cover is really cool. Really dig that cover. Alright, and finally guys, we'll get into the 4Ks. I don't have a ton here. It's kind of slowed down a little bit on my 4K buying, but first up we have Prince of Darkness from Scream Factory. So far Scream Factory's only done 2 4Ks, and I picked them both up. The first one is Prince of Darkness. I did check it out. Not my favorite John Carpenter film for sure, but I appreciate aspects about it. Then we have They Live, another John Carpenter film, which is one of my favorite John Carpenter movies. So that was pretty cool to get the 4K here. And you know what's funny is they didn't do the Scream Factory commissioned art for these. These are the theatrical posters. So that's interesting. Then what do we got? We got Blue Underground's The Final Countdown. I did watch this. It was a pretty cool movie. It looked very good on 4K. I love these lenticular covers that they're doing on these 4Ks here. But yeah, Blue Underground does a fantastic job. Kind of a weird movie for Blue Underground. It's not really I don't think it's really a cult film. Dave Parker described it best. It's like your dad's type of movie. It's something your dad would be watching. And I agree with that. It's sort of this almost like Twilight Zone-esque type thing where this carrier ship goes back through time and ends up right before the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. And there's a debate, should we stop them, because we know how it played out, obviously World War II ended sort of in our favor, you know, in the sort of more positive favor. So it's like, do you do anything? If you do something, is it going to mess everything up? Better butterfly effect, etc. So pretty cool concept. Really like the concept of the movie. Wish they would have done a little bit more with it, but it's still a pretty big movie. You know, planes and jets and you know, just huge budget it feels like. But yeah, Martin Sheen's in this, Kirk Douglas. Pretty solid movie. First time watch for me. And then we have the Saw on 4K. Recently, I went and saw Spiral, and I saw this at Walmart, and I was like, you know, I'm going to give it a shot. Best the movie has ever looked, period, ever. Because Saw has never really looked that great on DVD, Blu-ray, VHS, anything. So, yeah, it definitely looks the best it ever has. Pretty cool slipcover there. Pretty great movie. One of my favorite horror films ever. It holds up. And then we have The Ten Commandments. I picked this up because I was like, man, this will probably be one of the oldest films I have on 4K. I think Wizard of Oz is going to beat that. Maybe, yeah, I think this would be the second oldest. I think. But yeah, I've always loved this movie. I used to watch it all the time when I was a kid with my grandfather. I haven't watched it in years and years and years, though. It's like 4 hours long. It's an epic, but it's the greatest epic of all time. It says on the back. I love the slipcover on that. I really wanted to revisit it. Haven't watched it yet, but that will be. I mean, you gotta set aside a day for that, right? And then we have. I did upgrade Tremors to 4K. I told you guys in my last update I showed the Blu-ray set. I gave that to Carly for her birthday, I think. And then I did pick up the 4K version because it was bugging me. I had to get it, so grabbed the 4K version. Arrow Video. Love Tremors, one of my all-time favorite horror films as well. And then the final pickup for me is Santa Sangre, Jodorowsky's Santa Sangre, which is one of Severin's first 4Ks. It's the only one I got so far. I do want to grab Day of the Beast for sure. Not sure about the other one, but definitely Day of the Beast. And yeah, I've actually never seen this. I know a lot about it. I've seen people review it, seen videos about Jodorowsky and stuff. So pretty curious to check it out. I did get this as a Patreon watch. Somebody picked it for me, so I will eventually check this out in the near future. But yeah, pretty cool big addition from Severin there. Pretty cool there in the 4K game now. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's everything that I got. Like I said, I got more stuff coming in the mail. A ton of stuff to watch. I mean, there's so much stuff here. I need to get watching. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.